Hey guys, so I'm doing this on the shitter today, so that just because I'm trying to be more intimate and personal and stuff, and can talk slightly more quietly with this distraction here. So anyway, I just want to talk about I went to DPSS yesterday to get general relief because I'm like I've had jobs, but it was back when I was in college, and I was a freelancer, so I have no unemployment. I haven't worked for 10 years. I've just been doing artistic work, photography, writing, some social activism, stuff like that. I have a liberal arts degree from like a liberal arts college to champion peace and environmental harmony, even though if you got radical enough in that thinking, really just even logically radical, they stopped listening because it started becoming uncomfortable and they wanted to do like sort of safe radical things. And but anyway, and I don't mean I was saying weird things, I just said like commonsensical things, and that really got them going, man. Anyway, so with all that said, I went to DPSS, and I was had to do this orientation. Okay, so I have a college degree. I was a journalist, and I don't know, there used to be a really high rigorous standard for journalists. I was named one of the best LA journalists in the Los Angeles area by the Los Angeles Times in I think about 2003, 2004, in a special program. And I was an editor-in-chief of the college newspaper that had readership of like 30,000. I was editor-in-chief of the college magazine. It only came out once a year. I did like a lot of that stuff, and I was told all sorts of doors were going to open up for me when I got out of college. And when I got out of college, it was right in 2008 when the economy collapsed. And the last thing anyone wanted was a bleeding heart, philosophical liberal arts degree, journalist, person of letters. And I also learned in journalism, if you really wanted to report the truth, you were going to be circumvented. And I can have another whole thing about that. So anyway, now I'm at DPSS after 10 years of doing portrait, artistic, postmodern artistic portrait photography, which is something basically I've just done on my own, which is, I think there's some fantastic work there. I totally believe in it. I've dedicated my heart and soul to it. And so anyway, now I'm in this place with people who basically can't even put two words together. They can't even write any, they're having trouble filling out the basic forms with their information. Some of them didn't even bring their information. And I go into this, I'm brought into this room with classroom-like tables, and there are little stars on the walls and little "you can do it's," here and there, and then most of us, and most of it's just me, mostly like two women who look like they barely can, read, and a bunch of black guys, who look as world weary and as worn out and as dejected as can be. And then this woman in this plaid business skirt with glasses gets up and primly tells us basically that, it's time to, reach out and actually, do something with her, get our lives going, because, and we need to start somewhere. And so we're going to be having a social or a caseworker who's going to look over our shoulders for 20 hours a week to make sure that we're really looking for a job. I don't know what this might really mean, but that's what I'm being told, is that we're going to have someone who's going to make sure, going to develop a plan for us and make sure that we're out there looking for just the right work. So I didn't know any of this about general relief. I had no money, and so I figured I could get relief, right? So then anyway, when this is all over, right, we've done things like fill out a job form to show that we can write our address and we can write our name and all this stuff. And so then I go up to her and I say, listen, I'm a freelance artist, I'm a freelance photographer. I've dedicated my whole life to it, and I really can't do anything else. And what's more is that if I were really trying to succeed in the industry, I wouldn't have time to do anything else anyway, because they spend most of their time having you work for free, and then they just pick amongst a whole bunch of talented people, and whoever was the most easy to work with, not necessarily the most talented, is the one who they'll then sign up to go to the next level and the next, rung or whatever. It's a very in crowd, but first you have to work here for free for your ass off to even show that you can do anything, because if you don't have a portfolio, you see, they just assume you can't do anything. So you need to spend years getting the portfolio together, which sounds awesome, some people, but that's what I've been doing, and I do it full time. But really, I'm an artist, and this is what I have to do in my soul, okay? I mean, there's no other choice for me, and I don't think that any other people are going to want me to work for them anyway, because I'm a rebel, and I can't help that, okay? My life experiences, the things I've seen, the way my mind works is mainly a rebel. But this isn't my fault, all right? This is just who I am. Just like if I was gay, transgender, Jewish, well, I am half Jewish, or black, or any number of other things. I just happen to be a minority of one. I just happen to be like, one of a kind, and that's just the way I am. I mean, I didn't realize when I was my formative years that, oh God, I'm missing my mark, though sometimes, when it was too late, people said I did, but that wasn't the impression when I was young. I was just trying to grow up, so. But anyway, all this things has led me here. And so I say to her, listen, I'm devoted full time to my work. It's the only thing that means anything to me. And it's the only thing I think I might ever succeed at, because nothing else really has ever fit right. And I just need some relief. And so she looks at me very patiently and she says, I understand about your freelance photography, but the simple fact is that if you're not bringing in enough to support yourself, then you need a part-time job. You need to fill in the deficit, and then once you've filled in the deficit, then you can work on your dream. And so, and she just says it like she's talking to a child. I mean, just like she's talking to a child. Well, it's just the facts of life, okay? And what I want to say is that, I'm not a unit in an economic formula. I'm David Smith, okay? I'm not ever going to fit anywhere like that. I mean, it's just never going to happen. And because of that, what I'm being told is that I'm a child and I'm going to die. I'm going to starve to death. I'm going to be on the streets. I'm going to have these people who are like basically have a high school education, probably less educated than I am, hold my hand like I'm retarded because I decided to be a Renaissance person. And I just don't see how that's fair, okay? That's not being free, okay? I mean, let's say I decided that your society or this society doesn't work for me. Okay, where do I go? I mean, is there just like, am I supposed to go to Thoreau's cabin somewhere? I mean, where do I go? I mean, where am I supposed to go, okay? I mean, everything I know, I mean, not only is there nowhere to go, am I supposed to go to the wilderness somewhere, start building myself a cabin when I have no idea how to build a cabin? It's just like, you pick someone up as a hitchhiker, and then you leave them in a worse place where they were before. You picked them up in a sunny area, and then you threw them out in the freezing cold. Well, the law says that's illegal. The law says if you do that, if you pick someone up and then you leave them in a worse position than they were before, that's like negligence or something. Well, what I'm saying is like, and maybe in certain situations, okay, like if someone was injured and you picked them up with a broken leg, you drove them to a worse place where they're less likely to get help and then threw them out, that's illegal as far as the law is concerned. But what about me, okay? I can't speak for everyone else. Maybe some people want to work. Maybe some people need this help with social. Maybe they agree with it. But, I can't work for a society that's not going anywhere, okay? I mean, as near as I can tell, what everyone wants is just to be more comfortable, okay? And I guess, but we're not even really doing that exactly because we aren't taking care of the homeless people. We aren't taking care of the environment. I mean, it's just this free-for-all to get whatever you can in this capitalistic society, and if I just want to be an artist, I don't want to compete. I want to be a non-combatant, let's say. I don't have the option of being a non-combatant, okay? And it's not like we're in the wilderness where I have to defend myself from grizzly bears and pick food and slay animals, because then I could be killing things. But I'm not allowed to kill anything in this world except to die by starvation, by passive neglect, because I'm not fulfilling my economic slave status, okay? And I say it like that as a slave, okay? If you're forced to work, you're a slave, okay? It doesn't mean I have an option to get more money if I work, or if you cannot opt out, okay, where are you supposed to do? Okay, stop working and die, okay? That's not freedom. How can that be freedom, okay? I mean, so we all are earning our right. We all have to earn our right for everything, okay? Nietzsche said that the species has no goal, okay? When we look at each other as human beings, we can say, where are we going? They'll say, what are you talking about? I'm going to my next cup of coffee. Where are you going? I'm going to earn my next $1,500. I don't know. Where are you going? I'm going to go drive my fancy car. So if you're not going anywhere, how can I participate in that? Okay, I want to feel like I'm going somewhere. So working shuffling sneakers at Ross, I don't know about other people, But in my heart, that doesn't make me feel I'm going anywhere, okay? I mean, I have had all this education. I believe so passionately in humanity. If I could find any way to contribute to you guys, I would do it. But you don't want me. It's clearer and clearer every day. The last thing you want is a clear-thinking original rebel who just wants to do their art. You want those people to die. You even have got a whole system of righteous thinking that these people need to die because they're not contributing to the capitalistic flow of monetary funds. That is so unreal. I mean, that's just evil thinking, okay? People are not like that. We're human beings. We're not cattle. We're not dogs and cows. We're not machines that are part of a formula that they work so much. And how could you think of people that way? How can you look at other souls and think of them like that, okay? Not everyone is the same. Not everyone can do these things, but if they want to, give them the choice. But what if they don't? I mean, seriously, what if they don't? Where do they go? How do they conscientiously object to the capitalistic system? Okay, what can they do? All right, what can they say? They're not even taken seriously by anybody. They're regarded as children because they don't want to be part of a capitalistic, soulless system. I don't. I believe in America. I believe in everything. I believe if people want to compete, they can agree together to compete and then they can go compete. But if you don't want to compete, then just like a soldier who doesn't believe in battle, why the frick should you be impressed into this war? Okay, I mean, I want to put flowers out on the beach, okay? You can think whatever you want, but that's what God wants me to do, and I don't appreciate having all these people come along and tell me who and what I am when I know that's not who I am. Okay, I mean, I love you guys, but Jesus Christ, you're the worst tyrants I've ever known, okay? You know, I mean, the last thing, I mean, everyone needs to just, okay? I know you can do better than this.